Lesson 4, Planning a Website. Upon completing this tutorial, you will be able to determine what type of site you want to create. Define the site's purpose, identify your target audience, research and organize the site's content, and create a storyboard. When planning a website, it is important to write down and document all your ideas to help you create a storyboard to map out what information you want to convey to your visitors. This is a step you do not want to skip. Creating a storyboard will save you time and help define what you need to create a website. Let's take a look at the necessary steps in planning a website. Step 1, determining your site type. Step 2, define the site's purpose. Step 3, identify your target audience. Step 4, organizing your site content. And Step 5, creating a storyboard. There are many different ways a website can convey information to a visitor. Determining your site type and defining the content for each page might seem like a daunting task, but in the long run, you will be able to have a highly effective website that visitors will be able to find the information they want quickly. Let's look at Step 1, determining your website type. There are many different website categories that are available to choose from. There are 3 major categories. The first one is a business site. This site type can be broken down into 2 subcategories. The brochure site, which displays information similar to that found in a printed brochure. E-commerce sites, which contain catalog information and order processing elements such as a shopping cart and/or order tracking pages. The next major category are known as support sites. Visitors can find manuals, forms, frequently asked question pages, and software drivers, as well as updates and other important information regarding that company's product or service. The last major category are known as personal sites. These personal sites can be used for professional postings of e-portfolios and resumes. You can use them to communicate with your friends and family and create other sites such as fan pages, club pages, and more. Step 2, defining your site's purpose. What do you want to say to your visitor? Are you trying to sell a product or a service? Do you want to provide general information or create awareness for a cause or an issue? Do you want to showcase your talents to better position yourself in the job market? Once you've answered these simple questions, you can now determine what type of content to include in your pages. Step 3, identifying your target audience. Identifying your visitors is a very important step. Let's take a few minutes to see who you want to attract to your site. Are they old? Will they be men or women using this site or both? What are their demographics? How well educated are they? How will they be connecting to the internet with a DSL or dial-up? All these factors come into play as to who will be using your sites. As students with little or no marketing training or experience, it might seem like a daunting task to answer these questions. By answering these questions, this will assist you in designing your pages, choosing your content, and selecting the colors and text styles for your site. Step 4, identifying content sources. Many times, the content for your site will be provided to you by your client. Other times, you may have to design your site from scratch. It is still important to collect or create the material you're going to be using on your site before you begin creating your site. Information that might be provided from your client could come from many different forms. It could come from brochures, catalogs, mission statements, or other business information. If you're creating a site from scratch, you'll want to take the time to do the research yourself and find the information and then verify your facts. Once you've done that, you'll want to create your own material. Step 5. Organizing your site content. Nobody likes visiting a site that is unorganized and is difficult to find information on. Setting up site categories and then putting the information you have gathered into those categories will help you to create a well-designed site. Most non-e-commerce sites have a home page or landing page, an About Us section, activities and events section, and a contact page. Obviously, this is not all the pages you will need to create your site, but it's a good start. The last step we're going to look at is creating a site storyboard. Once you have completed step 1 through 5, you are now ready to map out your site and create a storyboard. I recommend that you set up your pages using Microsoft Word or PowerPoint, but using a piece of paper and a pencil works too. Let's now take a look at Paradise Mountain Family Resort and see what pages we will need to create this website. Let's go open up Microsoft Word and create our document as a Word document. Once I open that up, I'm going to double click into the header and I'm going to put in my identification marks. Let's zoom in so we can actually see what we're typing in here. For my students, you're going to type in your student full name. You're going to type in today's date. You're going to type in CT121 : web design 1. And then of course you're going to put in the instructor's name. We want to make sure this is different on the header page, so I'm going to copy it. Actually, I'm going to cut it. Click different on first page, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste it back in. This way it will only show up on this first page because these documents are usually multiple documents. Then I'm going to click in here into the body of the text. I'm going to bold by Control B and centering my text by Control E. And I'm going to type in Paradise Mountain Family Resort. I'm going to hit enter and drop down a line. I'm going to type in homepage because that's the page we'll be working on, and index.html. I'm going to hit enter twice, bold and uncenter by doing B and E with the control key again. I'm going to change my line formatting here by going into paragraph, turn it off, set it as my default for just this document, and hit OK. Now I'm ready to sketch out my home page. The way you can do that in Microsoft Word, I go Insert and Shapes. I'm going to grab the rectangle. Now by default, Microsoft Office likes to make it blue, so after I've drawn in my body of my text or body of my website, I go back into font format and change it. I just want it to be clear and with a nice black border, and I do not want it to have a white fill, so I'll come in here and I'll say no fill. This is now the body section of my web page. Web page also needs to have a banner or a header, so again, insert shape. I'll grab that square again. Come over here and I'll draw another rectangle, and it will overlap slightly so I know it's the header. Again, we have that lovely Microsoft blue. I'm going to go in and choose my default header color. This way it stands out a little bit. And now I'm ready to put in my information. Now the header is going to be on every single website page so it'll be consistent, and this way users will know we're on the same website. I'm going to grab my Paradise Mountain Family Resort so I don't have to retype it. Click into the header, right click, add text. I will paste that in now, Control V. And then I want that text to be a little bit larger than it is, so I'll highlight it. I'll come up into Home. I'll grab a larger font. 22 works pretty well here. And then I want it to go to the right. After that, I want to include Paradise Mountain Family Resort logo. I don't have that artwork yet, so I'll just go Insert Shape. Logos are generally represented by a circle or an oval, and I'll just put that right here. And then I'll mark the text by right-clicking and hitting Add Text and say Add Logo here. Now that I have that in place, I'll scroll down to the bottom and I'll put in my footer. And you can use this as another navigational tool. Insert Shape Square. Scroll down. And again, it's going to overlap the bottom of my page, so I know it's the footer. I'll change the color formatting again. I'll click into it by right-clicking, Add Text. And for my students, they will have to put the following 3 lines in if they want to get credit for their work. Design by, and then student full name, CT 121, Web Design 1, Fall 2012, or whatever year you're taking this. Benjamin Franklin Institute of Technology. If you have the book, this replaces what the book has at the bottom of each of their projects. This student name is going to be a hyperlink, so I'm going to right-click. Actually, I'm going to do Control-U after I highlight it to indicate that it's a hyperlink. Ben Franklin Institute of Technology is going to be an external link to our website, so I'll put the underline there. And now I'm going to put in some marks in here so that people will know when they look at it that these will be links. I'll go back into Insert, I'll go into Shapes, and I'll grab my arrow, and I'm going to draw 2 arrows. The first one I'm going to draw in Format, and the second one I'll copy. There we go. Notice the arrow is pointing to the name. I'll grab my line shape. Once it's drawn, I'll copy it, and then we'll go back down and we'll paste it. Have the second one point to Ben Franklin. I'll swing it over, and now I'll go up and I'll grab a text box so I can put in my comments. Once I grab my text box, I'm going to bring it down, and in my text box I'm going to put what kind of link this is going to be. This will be an email link to the student's email address. Once that's in there, I'll just move it down a hair. I'm going to copy this. I'll come over here and paste it. And I'll bring it over to Ben Franklin. Instead of saying email, we're going to say external link to the school's URL. And there we go. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see what we're working on. And you can see we have the structure of our website, we have the header section, we have the body, and we have the footer. We now need our navigation section. So we're going to go back into Insert. We're going to grab the table. And we need 6 navigations, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are going to be our links. Once I have that clicked, I'm going to drag it down into the body section. I'm going to adjust it just a hair so that it overlaps by using my ruler. And then I'm ready to type in my information. We're going to put the 6 major links in here, which are home. And then our next one is going to be, I believe, rates and accommodation. going to tab over and do reservations, spa, activities, and contact. And we just defined our navigation. I like it to be a little bit bolder, so again I'll highlight it, home, bold, and there we go. We are now ready to start mapping out and planning the body section of our index or our home page. Again, I'm going to go up into Insert, and once that comes up, I'm going to go ahead and choose Shapes, and I'm going to grab the rounded rectangular to represent a photo. I want it to be on the right side of the page. We'll leave it as the Microsoft default blue, but we'll add the text, that picture, to go here as a placeholder. And let's make that bigger so it's easily identifiable. We'll make it 18 point. Then we're going to define our area where we're going to put our text box. So again, Insert, we'll grab the text box, boom, go ahead and grab and drag into that area. I will just make it a little bit bigger. We've now completed mapping out our home page. At this point, I recommend that you save your work. So Control S, if you haven't already saved it yet, define your location. And we're ready to go ahead and start mapping out our second and our third pages. I like to think of this now as being a template, because we have defined our header, which won't change in any of our other pages, our navigational structure or our nav bar, which also will stay consistent throughout the site, and our footer, which will stay consistent throughout the site. So the only information that will change going forward is the information in the body section. So the next thing I'm going to do is click down into the bottom of my Word document, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new page by going Control Enter, and as you can see, that inserted a new page. I'm going to go back up into my Paradise Mountain home page layout, and I'm going to select everything on that first page, and then once I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and do Control C to copy. I will scroll down to the second page, click into the body of that second page, and Control V to paste that information in. Now, what's going to change is it's no longer going to be called the home page. So we'll double click in here, and we're going to do rates and accommodations. And then, of course, we're not going to call this rates and accommodations because that's too long of a file name, so we'll just call it rates, R-A-T-E-S. And then we can come in here and we can change how we're going to have this page laid out. All I really have to change is this box right here by hitting delete, and this box right here to go ahead and add in the additional information for the rates and accommodation pages. Again, I'm going to go into Insert. I'm going to select a text box, and then I'm going to grab and drag that down here, and I kind of know what the client wants, so I'm going to go ahead and type in accommodations, and I want that to be justified to the left. Hit enter a couple of times. I'm going to go ahead and make that bold, and I'm going to bring it up a little bit. Then I'm going to click underneath it and just going to type in Paradise Mountain rooms are the best around, and then just fix that real fast. I'm just going to put in some filler text, so I'm copying it and pasting it in over and over. I'll shrink this box now a little bit. After I have that text in there so I can get just a visual of what it's going to look like, I'm going to go ahead and add a picture. So I'll just click out, Insert, Shape, I'll grab one rectangle and I'll draw that in right about here. And I'll say picture 1, right click, add text, picture 1, and again I'll just make this a little bit bigger so it's easier for us to see. Up, up, up. I'll just copy this again, control copy, control paste, and I'll just grab it, move that down, picture 2, so people can have an idea of what the rooms look like. Maybe it will look a little bit better over here. And then let's add in, we'll change it to say picture 2, edit text, and 2. And then we'll just add a third picture, control V, move that into the space that we want. And we'll type in 3, there we go. After we've done that, let's go ahead and add a small quick table. So we'll go insert, make sure we're out of the box though, insert, we'll do a table with 3 columns and 3 rows. Let's size it while we're outside, about that big. We'll grab that table now and bring it in to where our text is. Make it just a little bit smaller. That way we'll have all our pictures in. As you can see, you might have to click and move things around a few times. I don't get nervous because Control Z or undo is always a good key to know so you can rearrange, move things and bring them back. Let's pull this table up a little bit. Oh, there we go. This one's shy now, jumped off our page. Picture 1, picture 2, picture 3. And then we can just go room style, rates, number of occupants. And let's just highlight those and make them all bold. Okay, right click, cell alignment, there we go. Fix my typos, and then we can say king size bed, $200 per night, 2 max, tab, 2 queen beds, $250 a night, and then we can say 4 people or up to 4 guests. I like guests better. And then we will say 2 queen beds with pull-out couch, and then we'll say $300 a night, and then say up to 6 guests. And basically I'm done. Let's go ahead and save this. And there we have mapping out our pages. Now what I would expect my students to do is to now map out each and every page. Then once you have done that, this is also going to be your storyboard or your blueprint to work off of and create your site.